desert burned beneath the noon like hell was coming far too soon. A lone cowboy crossed the borderline with whiskey breath and hollow eyes. His black coat dragged across the sand beside a weathered 44 in hand, and every mile beneath the heat felt like death beneath his feet. The railroad groaned through canyon stone like a ghost crying all alone, while vultures circled overhead above the trails where cowboys bled. And every shadow in the dust looked shaped by sorrow, blood, and rust, like memories the West won't keep, still wandering where the dead men sleep. A border cantina flickered dim, filled with gamblers hard and grim. Mariachi voices echoed low like funeral hymns from long ago. The bartender cleaned a broken glass while thunder rolled across the pass, and every drifter near the wall could feel the night begin to fall. A woman dressed in faded red lit cigarettes with trembling hands. She whispered soft, "You need to hide, the devil's riders came tonight." Outside the desert wind grew wild as lightning tore across the sky, and 6 black horses crossed the ridge like death itself, coming through the mist. Coyotes howl beneath the moon for outlaw men who met their doom, still buried somewhere in the sand. Cold winds cry through hanging trees like lost souls begging to be free from the sins they carried in their hands. And every cowboy comes to know the West can freeze a human soul till nothing's left but dust and scars. Coffins beneath the borderline, waiting for forgotten lives through burning storms and endless night, where cowboys slowly fade from sight. And every sunset bleeds dark red for all the outlaw souls long dead, still drifting through the desert haze like smoke dissolving in the plains. The canyon sings its lonely tune beneath the pale December moon, while ghost town church bells softly ring for broken men and outlaw kings. Coffins buried in the sand for every lost and dying man, still echoing through time and pain across the Wild West once again. If I disappear by dawn, tell my black horse to ride on beyond the hills of New Mexico. Lay my bones beside the rails near forgotten prison trails, where only blackbirds dare to go. And when the cold wind calls my name, I'll vanish into dust and flame like every outlaw born alone. Coffins beneath the borderline, still holding all the lost with time, past abandoned mines and graves where no outlaw was ever saved. The campfire dies, the bottle breaks, another cowboy seals his fate, while lonely riders drift away into the cold and endless gray. And somewhere far beyond the storm, a lone gunslinger still rides on with trembling hands and weary soul through desert nights that never desert keeps its dead, and the cowboys keep riding until there's nothing left but dust.
Midnight riders crossing Calavera sands, like shadows carved by cursed hands. A lone gunslinger leads the line beneath the blood-red moonlight shine. His black coat sways in desert wind like the ghost of all his sins, and every hoofbeat shakes the ground like thunder rolling through the town. The canyon walls begin to groan like dying spirits trapped in stone, while railroad tracks cut through the night toward nowhere under fading light. And every star above the plains looks down upon the outlaw pain, still haunting every trail they ride across the desert cold and wide. The cantina glows with a lantern fire, filled with drifters, thieves and liars. Mariachi music echoes low like funeral hymns from long ago. The bartender pours whiskey slow for men with nowhere left to go, and poker players stare in fear as distant hoofbeats grow more near. A dancer dressed in crimson lace slowly lifts her weary face. She whispers soft, "You'd better pray, the devil's riders came today." Outside the desert, storm grows black as lightning strikes the railroad tracks, and 6 dark horses cross the ridge like death itself beneath the mist. Coyotes cry beneath the moon for outlaw men who met their doom, still buried somewhere in the sand. Cold winds howl through canyon graves for restless souls no preacher saves, still wandering through the borderlands. And every cowboy comes to know the West can freeze a human soul till nothing's left but dust and scars. Midnight riders of Calavera, still roaming through the dark together, through burning storms and endless rain, where broken cowboys drown in pain. And every sunset bleeds blood red for all the outlaw souls long dead, still drifting through the desert haze like smoke dissolving through the plains. The church bells ring but no one prays for gunslingers who lost their way, while ghost town fires slowly die beneath the cold November sky. Midnight riders through the storm with hearts too tired and weather worn, still haunting every road they knew beneath the endless midnight blue. If I die before daylight, don't bring flowers to where I lie. The desert never mourns its dead. Lay my hat beside the train where black smoke mixes with the rain, and vultures circle overhead. And when the cold wind
speaks my name, I'll fade into the dust and flame, like every outlaw born alone. Midnight riders of Calavera, still chasing ghosts forever, past abandoned mines and graves where no outlaw was ever saved. The campfire fades into the dark like dying embers losing spark, while lonely riders disappear like smoke dissolving through the years. And somewhere far beyond the ridge, past hanging ropes and burning bridges, a black horse still rides alone through desert lands no one calls home. Midnight riders through the sand, for every lost and broken man, still echoing through time again. Across the Wild West, without end, Calavera never sleeps. It only waits for another outlaw to ride into the desert night.
Mojave shadows stretch across the sand. An old outlaw rides with blood on his hands, dust-covered boots and a weathered black hat, chasing ghosts he can't outrun from the past. The desert wind cuts deep like a knife, another long road, another hard life. His horse walks slow through the crimson dusk, while broken revolvers gather rust. Campfire smoke rising into the sky, like prayers from cowboys learning to die. No church bells ring out in these lands, only coyotes and drifting sands. And no saloon glows far away, like the last bit of light before Judgment Day. And every stranger silently knows this desert buries more than bones don't. The whiskey burns like fire inside, but never kills the pain he hides. Every card game and every scar reminds him who the lost men are. Mariachi echoes through the night air, mixing with dust and whispered prayers, while gamblers stare through clouds of smoke at stories too heavy to be spoke. A dancer sways beneath a lantern light, her lonely eyes shining soft and bright. She says, "Cowboy, you should leave this town. The devil's riders are coming down." Outside the storm begins to rise, black clouds swallowing desert skies. And somewhere far beyond the ridge, death is riding toward the bridge. Coyotes crying beneath the moon, another
cowboy comes to learn, the desert watches sinners burn beneath the endless heat and sky. Ashes of the Mojave wind carry the souls of outlaw men through burning sands, an endless flame where no one leaves the West the same. And every sunset bleeds blood red for all the cowboys left for dead, still riding through the dust alone, where broken hearts turn hard as stone. The desert sings its mournful song for men who wandered far too long, while ghost town fires slowly die beneath the Mojave sky. Ashes falling like desert rain, covering old outlaw pain. And somewhere in the drifting smoke, another cowboy spirit roams. If I fall before the dawn, tell my black horse to ride on beyond the cursed canyon line. Lay my bones beneath the stars, beside forgotten railroad cars, where the wild coyotes cry at night. And when the desert swallows me whole, let the wind carry my soul across the endless Mojave plains.
Red desert burning beneath the sky, another lonely cowboy wondering why. Dust-covered trails and rattlesnake cries follow him beneath the night. An old black horse walks tired and slow through ghost town roads nobody knows. With whiskey breath and bloodshot eyes, he keeps riding through the firelight. Campfire embers glow like gold against the freezing desert cold, and every scar upon his face tells stories time cannot erase. Far away, a train horn moans like a lost soul dying alone, while the canyon wind begins to sing about forgotten outlaw kings. Inside a cantina near the borderline, mariachi shadows drift with time. Broken gamblers stare through smoke at dreams already dead and broke. A dance spins beneath dim lights, her silver dress shining soft and bright. She whispers low, you shouldn't stay. Death rode into town today. The bartender wipes a shaking hand as thunder rolls across the land, and every cowboy near the door knows what bloodshed's waiting for. Outside, the desert moon hangs pale over empty wells and railroad trails, while six dark riders cross the ridge like devils climbing from the cliffs. Coyotes howl beneath the stars for all the men who rode too far and lost themselves along the way. Cold desert winds begin to rise like ghosts returning from the night to drag forgotten souls away. And every outlaw learns too late you can't outrun your past or fate beneath these endless western skies. Whispers of the red desert wind still calling out the names of men who disappeared
burns blood red for all the souls the desert kept, while lonely riders fade like rain across the dry and empty plains. Whispers floating through the storm like memories forever worn, still haunting every road they knew beneath the desert moonlight blue. If I die before the dawn, tell my black horse to ride on beyond the hills of old Nevada. Lay my bones beneath the sand beside the ghosts of outlaw men, where no church bells ever matter. When the desert speaks my name, don't mourn the life I threw away. Just let the cold wind carry me. Whispers of the red desert sky
Still follow cowboys when they die,
through abandoned towns and canyon flames,
where no man leaves the west unchanged.
the blackbirds circle high above,
Like fallen angels stripped of love,
while campfire smoke fades into night.
and all along the trails with no end in sight.
And somewhere far beyond the storm,
The lonely outlaw still rides on
with tired eyes and trembling hands,
across the endless.
desert sands.
Whispers rising with the dust,
For every cowboy turned to rust,
still echoing through time again.
across the wild and broken west. The desert remembers everything, every bullet,
Every bullet,
every outlaw,
every lonely goodbye.
Gravel dust in a fading sky, county line as the day goes by. You lean back, let your hair fall free, said this is where I wanna be. Old fence posts and a field of gold, stories that we never told. Every mile felt like a dream, living somewhere in between. On a sunset on county line, you and me just killing time, chasing colors as they fall, like we don't need nothing at all. Yeah, the world can't wait behind. We got forever in this town. On a sunset on county line. Truck bed creaks as we climb inside, watching day turn into night. You drew circles on my hand like you had it all planned. On a sunset on county line, you and me just killing time, chasing colors as they fall, like we don't need nothing at all. Yeah, the world can't wait behind. We got forever in this time. On a sunset on county line. Maybe someday we'll look back on this road and where we're at, laugh about how young we were, chasing dreams we couldn't word. On a sunset on county line, still replaying in my mind, every word and every glance, every little bit of chance. Yeah, if I could press rewind, I was born where the wild wind blows down old highways nobody knows. Daddy taught me how to ride and never let fear live inside. Small town lights and pickup trucks, Friday nights and a little luck, a worn out hat and an old guitar, dreaming big beneath the stars. And every mile keeps calling me home, through desert skies where cowboys roam. On this whiskey sunset road, I carry love inside my soul, with dusty boots and hearts of gold. We never fear the cold. The radio sings old country songs, while lonely rivers roll along. No matter where this life may go, I'm still a cowboy down below. Coffee brewing by the firelight, coyotes crying in the night. Old saloon memories remain like falling desert rain. Your photograph inside my jeans still feels closer than it seems. And every star up in the sky knows the tears I never cry. The prairie wind still speaks your name like an old forgotten flame. On this whiskey sunset road, I carry love inside my soul, with dusty boots and hearts of gold. We never fear the cold. The radio sings old country songs, while lonely rivers roll along. No matter where this life may go, I'm still a cowboy down below. One day when the ride is through and the sky fades into blue, leave my head beside the door. I'll be riding evermore on this whiskey sunset road. The Wild West lives in my soul, through endless nights and open plains. This cowboy heart remains. With the moonlight shining bright and campfires in the night, I'll keep riding strong and free till heaven calls for me. moonlight falling on dead man's pass, shining over bones and shattered glass. An old outlaw rides through desert stone with a soul too cold to call home. His leather coat drags through the dust like forgotten dreams left there to rust. And every hoofbeat through the night sounds like death beneath moonlight. The canyon walls whisper his name like old regrets wrapped in flame, while black smoke rises from the plains carrying echoes of pain. Far beyond the railroad line, the coyotes cry through space and time, and every lonely desert star looks down on who we truly are. The dying saloon still glows at night beneath weak lantern firelight. Broken cowboys fill the room like ghosts escaping from the tomb. The piano plays a hollow sound as whiskey bottles slam around, and gamblers pray with nervous hands to survive this cursed land. A woman dressed in crimson red slowly turned her weary head. She looked at him and softly sighed. Another cowboy born to die. Outside the thunder shakes the sky as 6 black horses slowly ride through desert storms and canyon rain like devils forged from hate and pain. Cold wind screaming through the dark like wolves, tearing worlds apart, still haunting every outlaw soul. Moonlight shining pale and white across forgotten graves tonight, where restless spirits never sleep. And every cowboy comes to know the desert only deals in ghosts and memories buried in the sand. Moonlight over dead man's past, shining on the sins that last through endless dust and burning flame, where no outlaw leaves the same. And every sunset bleeds dark red for all the cowboys left for dead, still riding through the canyon storm, where broken hearts stay cold and warm. The desert sings its mournful tune beneath the pale and dying moon, while lonely riders fade away like smoke at the end of day. Moonlight falling soft and slow on outlaw souls with nowhere to go, still drifting through the endless west, searching for forgotten rest. If I vanish in the storm, don't pray for me no more. Just let my black horse wander free. Lay my hat beside the fire near old railroad funeral wires, where coyotes cry eternally. And when the desert calls my name, I'll disappear in
every outlaw before me. Moonlight over dead man's past, still watching lonely shadows pass across abandoned border towns where broken cowboys all fall down. The church bells ring but no one prays for outlaw men who lost their way, while ghost town winds begin to moan for every ride never home. And somewhere far beyond the ridge, past dry rivers and hanging bridges, a lone cowboy still rides slow through the desert night alone. Moonlight shining through the haze over old forgotten graves, while ashes blow across the land like ghosts dissolving into sand. Dead man's past remembers all the gunfire, the blood, the cowboys who never came home.
Diablo Ridge was burning red as the preacher bowed his head. Another outlaw marked by sin rode into the dust again. Black leather boots and tired eyes, a man abandoned by the light with a Winchester across his back and no intention of coming back. The desert sun carved lines so deep on a face that hadn't known sleep. Every town he passed along remembered him and whispered songs. He's the last outlaw of Diablo Ridge, still riding through the devil's mist, with a heart too cold for mercy now and bloodstains underneath his hands. The desert wind still calls his name through rattlesnakes and pouring rain, and every canyon, every bridge knows the last outlaw of Diablo Ridge. There was a woman long ago with eyes brighter than New Mexico. She begged him once to lay down his gun before the law and darkness won. But cowboys born beneath hard skies learn too young that freedom dies, and every bullet leaves a scar, no matter who you really are. The cantina lights flickered low as old mariachi echoes flowed, and somewhere in the midnight haze he saw her face through smoke again. Coyotes sing where the dead men sleep, and promises are buried deep. Out here the West don't forgive, it only teaches how to live. He's the last outlaw of Diablo Ridge, with whiskey breath and cracked old lips, still chasing ghosts through desert storms, trying to outride what he's become. The moon hangs pale above the dunes like judgment coming far too soon, and every shadow in the mist follows the outlaw of Diablo Ridge. If he dies before the morning light, just leave his body where it lies.
No church bells ring, no mourners cry, just desert winds beneath the sky. And let the vultures circle slow above the sands of Mexico, 'cause legends fade but never die, out where the lost souls ride. He's the last outlaw of Diablo Ridge, now disappearing through the cliffs with one last cigarette to burn, and no more roads left to turn. The campfire dies, the darkness spreads, another cowboy left for dead, still haunting every canyon wind. The last outlaw rides again. Diablo Ridge, where the bad men pray. And the desert never forgets. Sun is fading down the line, golden shadows, whiskey time. Old dirt road and a pale moonlight, another cowboy's quiet night. Boots are dusty, heart is warm, chasing dreams since I was born. The wind keeps singing through the pines, like an old forgotten rhyme. There's dust on my boots and fire in my soul, riding through the silence on this endless road, with the stars above and the night so true. This old cowboy heart still belongs to you. Crickets calling soft and low, campfire dancing in the glow. Your memory drifts like western skies, still alive inside my mind. The river hums a lonely tune underneath the silver moon, and every mile I leave behind still brings your love to mind. There's dust on my boots and fire in my soul, riding through the silence on this endless road, with the stars above and the night so true. This old cowboy to you. If tomorrow never comes and this trail is finally done, I'll meet you where the wild winds blow, far beyond where cowboys go. There's dust on my boots, but your love still stays, like a desert sunrise, lighting up my days. With the stars above and the sky so blue, this old cowboy heart will come home to you.
The desert wind was cold tonight, dust dancing underneath the neon lights. I walked alone through an old saloon with a broken heart and a fading moon. The piano played a lonely tune, like it knew I'd be leaving soon. Every cowboy here hides pain behind whiskey smoke and pouring rain. But a cowboy never cries out loud. He hides his tears beneath the clouds, keeps riding on through loss and pain, like thunder rolling across the plains. And though my soul feels torn apart, I still carry you inside my heart. This old hat hides the truth sometimes. Even cowboys cry at night. I still remember your soft blue dress, your laughter drifting through the west. We danced slowly under county lights, like forever lived in that summer night. But dreams can fade like cigarette smoke. Some promises are meant to break. Now every road just feels too long, since the day you've been gone. The stars above don't shine the same, since I lost the sound of your name. And every fire that keeps me warm still can't stop this lonely storm. But a cowboy never cries out loud. He stands tall and proud somehow, even when the world turns cold.
behind this smile and no disguise. Even cowboys cry at night. So I'll keep riding till dawn appears, with a lifetime full of silent tears. And maybe somewhere down the line I'll finally leave the past behind. But a cowboy never says goodbye. He just rides beneath the endless sky, leaving memories in every town, like autumn leaves falling down. And when they sing this song someday around the fire where old cowboys pray, they'll know beneath these western skies even cowboys cry sometimes. Sometimes.
Mojave shadows stretch across the sand, an old outlaw rides with blood on his hands, dust-covered boots and a weathered black hat, chasing ghosts he can't outrun from the past. The desert wind cuts deep like a knife. Another long road, another hard life. His horse walks slow through the crimson dusk, while broken revolvers gather rust. Campfire smoke rising into the sky, like prayers from cowboys learning to die. No church bells ring out in these lands, only coyotes and drifting sands. An old saloon glows far away, like the last bit of light before Judgment Day. And every stranger silently knows this desert buries more than bones. The whiskey burns like fire inside, but never kills the pain he hides. Every card game and every scar reminds him who the lost men are. Mariachi echoes through the night air, mixing with dust and whispered prayers, while gamblers stare through clouds of smoke at stories too heavy to be spoke. A dancer sways beneath a lantern light, her lonely eyes shining soft and bright. She says, "Cowboy, you should leave this town. The devil's riders are coming down." Outside the storm begins to rise, black clouds swallowing desert skies, and somewhere far beyond the ridge, death is riding toward the bridge. Coyotes crying beneath the moon, another outlaw meeting doom, and the Mojave
burying them endlessly. And every cowboy comes to learn, the desert watches sinners burn beneath the endless heat and sky. Ashes of the Mojave wind carry the souls of outlaw men through burning sands and endless flame, where no one leaves the West the same. And every sunset bleeds blood red for all the cowboys left for dead, still riding through the dust alone, where broken hearts turn hard and stone. The desert sings its mournful song for men who wandered far too long, while ghost town fires slowly die beneath the Mojave sky. Ashes falling like desert rain, covering old outlaw pain. And somewhere in the drifting smoke, another cowboy spirit roams. If I fall before the dawn, tell my black horse to ride on beyond the cursed canyon line. Lay my bones beneath the stars, beside forgotten railroad cars, where the wild coyotes cry at night. And when the desert swallows me whole, let the wind carry my soul across the endless Mojave plains.
Rattlesnake moon above the dunes, shining like an outlaw's doom. A lone cowboy rides the Kane trail through burning winds and rusted rails. His leather gloves are stained with dust, his silver gun is lined with rust, and every scar upon his skin still bleeds for all the roads he's been. The desert breathes a haunted sound, like dead men buried underground, while black smoke rises through the night beneath the pale moon's ghostly light. Far away a train whistle cries like sorrow cutting through the sky, and every lonely desert star looks down on broken hearts afar. Hearts afar. The cantina doors swing open wide as cold wind blows the fire inside. Mariachi echoes drift and fade like memories that never stay. A woman dressed in velvet black whispers, "Cowboy, don't look back," but he just drinks his whiskey slow, too far gone to let it go. Gamblers freeze with trembling hands while thunder shakes the borderlands, 'cause 6 dark riders cross the ridge like shadows crawling from the mist. The bartender bows his weary head like he already smells the dead, and every soul inside that room knows blood will stain the floor by noon. Coyotes scream beneath the stars for outlaw men who traveled far and vanished in the desert haze. Cold moonlight falls on shallow graves where restless spirits still remain, trapped between the smoke and flame. And every cowboy comes to learn the West will watch your whole world burn, then leave your ghost out in the sand. Rattlesnake moon above the plains, watching over outlaw pain through burning storms and endless night, where cowboys disappear from sight, and every sunset bleeds dark red for all the wandering souls long dead, still still drifting through the canyon rain, like smoke dissolving once again. The desert sings its mournful cry for every man left here to die, while ghost town church bells softly ring for outlaw kings and broken dreams. Rattlesnake moon still shining cold on tired hearts and gunslingers old, still haunting every road they knew beneath the endless midnight blue. If I die beneath this sky, don't waste your tears or ask me why. The desert never cared at all. Lay my bones beside the train where black smoke mixes with the rain, and coyotes howl beyond the hills. And when the cold wind calls my name, I'll disappear into the flame, like every outlaw born to roam. Rattlesnake moon above the west, watching cowboys laid to rest across abandoned border towns where lonely drifters all break down. The campfire burns and slowly dies like fading memories in the night, while blackbirds circle overhead above the roads where cowboys bled. And somewhere far beyond the storm, a lone black horse keeps riding on through endless dust and canyon stones, still searching for a way back home. Rattlesnake moon will always glow above the men the desert stole, still echoing through time and pain, across the dry forgotten plains. The rattlesnake moon, dust and bones, another cowboy rides alone into the dark. Morning sun rose cold and pale over broken fences and rusted rails. I saddled up with a heavy soul, another town I couldn't call home. My father's hat still shades my eyes, like his ghost riding by my side. He taught me love don't always stay, sometimes hearts just drift away. So I ride through the valley low, where the wild winds endlessly blow, with an old six-string and a heart worn thin, trying to find where I've been. And every sunset paints your face across the sky. I can't escape. This cowboy life keeps rolling on, even when everything feels gone. There's a church outside a dusty town where I carved our names into the ground. Now tumbleweeds pass slowly by, like forgotten prayers beneath the sky. The bartender still knows my name, says lonely men all drink the same. One more glass to ease the night, one more song
Stars don't judge the things I've done, they just shine when the day is gone. And somewhere far beyond these plains, I still hear you call my name. So I ride through the valley low with memories I can't let go. The sound of boots on weathered stone reminds me I'm still alone. But every road and every scar made me into who we are. A cowboy chasing fading light on his last ride through the valley tonight. If heaven's got old wooden bars and campfires beneath silver stars, I hope you'll meet me somewhere there with your golden dress and braided hair. So I ride till the end of time through desert storms and mountain lines. And when this old heart finally rests, know I loved you more than the West. The prairie winds will sing my song long after this cowboy's gone, like echoes rolling soft and slow through the valley down below.
Black horse running through El Dorado sands, carrying an outlaw with blood on his hands. The desert sky burned orange and red, like fire above the wandering dead. His old revolver hung down low beside a heart too cold to show. Every scar across his face told stories no time could erase. The railroad tracks stretched endlessly through broken towns and dying dreams, while buzzards circled overhead above the trails where cowboys bled. And every hoofbeat through the night echoed underneath moonlight, like ghosts still riding side by side across the desert, cold and wide. A lonely cantina glowed ahead, filled with drifters, half alive or dead. Mariachi shadows filled the air, like sorrow hanging everywhere. The bartender poured whiskey slow for cowboys with nowhere left to go, and poker players held their breath like they were gambling against death. A woman dressed in silver lace looked at him with tired grace. She whispered low, "You should run, the devil's riders come by dawn." Outside the thunder split the sky as 6 black horses thundered by, and every outlaw in that place could feel the storm begin to break. Coyotes cry through canyon storms for outlaw souls forever warm, still wandering through the desert night. Cold winds blow across the plains like ghosts reliving all their pain beneath the pale
desert sings a lonesome tune beneath the cold October moon, while ghost town church bells softly cry for all the men who live to die. Black horse through El Dorado land, still carrying forgotten men across the wild and broken west, where restless spirits never rest. If I fall beneath the storm, don't bring flowers where I'm gone. The desert never mourns its dead. Lay my hat beside the rails near forgotten prison trails, where blackbirds circle overhead. And when the cold wind speaks again, it'll carry whispers of dead men across the endless borderlands. Black horse through El Dorado, still riding roads nobody knows, past abandoned mines and graves where no outlaw was ever saved. The campfire fades into the dark like dying embers losing spark, while lonely riders disappear like smoke dissolving through the years. And somewhere far beyond the ridge, past hanging ropes and burning bridges, a lone cowboy still rides slow through the desert night alone. Black horse through El Dorado road sands, still chasing ghosts across the land, forever trapped beneath the sky, where outlaw dreams go to die. El Dorado remembers every bullet, every cowboy, every lonely ride into the dark.
The sun fell hard on the desert plains, painting the sky with fire and pain. An old outlaw rode through the burning haze like a ghost still trapped in better days. His dusty coat dragged us behind, a tired man with a shattered mind. The silver revolver on his side had taken more than just a life. He crossed dry rivers and railroad tracks, never once looking back, 'cause every town he left behind held another sin he couldn't hide. Down the dead man's trail to El Paso, where the cold winds and desperados go, through cactus fields and abandoned graves, where broken cowboys slowly fade. And the desert moon shines pale tonight on whiskey tears and barroom fights, still searching for a soul to save along the dead man's trail to El Paso. Cantina glowed beside the road, with tired lights and floors of old wood. Mariachi shadows filled the air, while lonely strangers stopped and stared. A bartender said, "Son, where you bound?" He just sighed and looked back down. Said, "I'm chasing ghosts through Mexico, trying to outrun the things I know outside." The coyotes called his name like old regrets wrapped in
eyes. Don't waste your prayers or your goodbyes. Just let my old horse wander free through the sands, remembering me. And if heaven's somewhere past the storm, beyond the night and outlaw wars, maybe she'll be waiting there, with moonlight dancing through her hair. Down the dead man's trail, El Paso, one last cowboy rides alone, past burning hills and ghost town lights, disappearing in the night. The campfire fades, the bottle's dry, another outlaw says goodbye. And somewhere where the lost souls go, he rides beyond El Paso, dead man's trail, dust and smoke. One more cowboy swallowed by the desert road.
Dusty road and a sky so wide, you and me on a late night ride. FM playing our favorite tune, singing loud underneath the moon. Your laugh cuts through the summer air, wind keeps running through your hair. Ain't no map, ain't no plan, just your fingers in my hand. With the radio on, heart wide open, every word we feel unspoken, chasing dreams down every mile, living life in your sweet smile. Yeah, we're right where we belong, singing every single song with the radio on, heart wide open. Stoplight turns, but we don't care. Time slows down when you're right there. Every second feels so right, like forever starts tonight. With the radio on, heart wide open, every word we feel unspoken, chasing dreams down every mile, living life in your sweet smile. Yeah, we're right where we belong, singing every single song with the radio on. Dust devils dancing through the Rio Grande, like lost souls crawling across the land. A lone outlaw rides beneath the blaze, through endless smoke and desert haze. His leather boots drag through the sand, beside an old revolver in his hand. And every scar across his face tells stories death could not erase. The railroad cries through canyon stone, like a dying ghost left all alone, while vultures circle overhead above the trails where cowboys bled. And every shadow in the heat looks like memories buried deep, still wandering through the border night, beneath the pale moon shining white. The cantina lights burn low and dim, filled with drifters cold and grim. Mariachi echoes softly cry, like broken prayers that slowly die. A bartender with shaking hands poured whiskey for forgotten men, while poker players stared through smoke at dreams too shattered to be spoke. A woman dressed in silver black whispered softly, "Don't go back," but the outlaw only bowed his head, like part of him was already dead. Outside the thunder split the sky, 6 black horses thundered by, and every cowboy near the door knew death had come to settle scores. Coyotes screamed beneath the stars for outlaw men who rode too far and disappeared into the storm. Cold desert winds begin to rise, like ghosts returning from the night to drag lost souls beneath the sand. And every cowboy learns too late you can't outrun your past or fate, once the West has carved your name. Dust devils of the Rio Grande, still chasing ghosts across the land, through burning storms and endless rain, where broken cowboys hide their pain. And every sunset bleeds dark red for all the outlaw souls long dead, still drifting through the canyon haze, like smoke swallowed by the plains. The desert sings its mournful tune beneath the cold October moon, while ghost town church bells softly cry for all the men who live to die. Dust devils swirling through the night, around campfires burning bright, still haunting every road they knew, beneath the endless midnight blue. If I vanish before dawn breaks, let the desert hide my mistakes, beneath the endless western sky. Lay my bones beside the rails, near forgotten outlaw trails, where only blackbirds dare to fly. And when the cold wind speaks again, it'll carry whispers of dead men across the wild borderlands. Dust devils of the Rio Grande, still roaming through this cursed land, past abandoned mines and graves, where no outlaw was ever safe. The campfire dies, the whiskey's gone, another lonely rider moves on, while black smoke rises through the dark, like fading embers losing spark. And somewhere far beyond the ridge, past burning towns and hanging bridges, a lone cowboy still rides slow through desert nights no one can know. Dust devils dancing through the sand, for every lost and broken man, still echoing through time and pain, across the Wild West once again.
into the storm.